Hey guys, well, welcome to day 7 of my 30-day employee to entrepreneur challenge for myself. And today has been really hard. I'm just going to be open and vulnerable through this process so that you can understand, you know, that it's not all, cupcakes and roses. It really takes going in and doing the inner work. That's what it's about. And it hurts sometimes to see the truth. Sometimes it really hurts to see the truth. So today is about discovering your shadow self. That's how my day was. And coming face to face with your shadow self is not easy because you have to, one, take responsibility for all of your past actions, and two, you see how your subconscious mind is always trying to protect you. And when you get into a place of unknown that you've never been before, when you're trying to create or do something you've never done, your subconscious mind will do everything to protect you. That is its job. And, that's okay. That's awesome, but it is just coming to this awareness of finally seeing what is holding you back. Okay. So I'm going to tell you how it worked for me today. And, yeah. So, today, I was kind of spinning around and not really focusing. And I knew I wasn't focusing, so I would stop myself and try to get back to my action steps. Okay. Those are the things that we write down that move your goals forward. Okay. It's like those things have to come first and then everything else can follow. But those have to come first, no matter what you do. So I recognized that I was not getting them done, and I stopped myself and I started to do them again. And then I had kind of like a storm happen, if you will. Okay, so like I was texting some people and just having fun and talking to people, and then there was a couple things that were said that all of a sudden I started to feel really bad. And not that I started to feel really bad, but it was like physically I started getting a horrible migraine. I just started feeling like down and depressed, and I just started getting really frustrated and emotional, and I could tell I was starting to like take things out on my kids, and you know what I mean. So I was like, I'm just gonna go lay down, and my migraine just started getting worse and worse, and I had to just go to sleep. And I woke up 2.5 hours later. It was like 7 something at night. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I did have a pretty bad headache. But when I woke up, and I'm like just sitting around, and I'm like, I haven't done my action steps for today that I want to get done, and I need to get them done. That's what I'm going to go do. But as I'm coming up to handle some of my action steps, I just felt like I'm still not moving forward. Like, even though I know I'm moving forward, I feel like really kind of just stuck. So I just sat down and I started really reflecting on the past and what has held me back, okay? As far as creating my businesses, okay? So I just had to get real honest with myself. I kind of went into just a silent meditation to quiet my mind, and I asked my subconscious mind, what's going on with this? Here we are again, where I feel like I'm at this crossroad. The crossroad is basically, I know that for me, it's probably best for me to hire some people to assist me with finishing my course and finishing my ClickFunnels, website. Okay. So I love the 30-day ClickFunnels challenge, and that's awesome. But I felt like I was at the exact same place I was before when I took it. It was like I got overwhelmed and I just kind of stopped moving forward. And I felt like I was in that same position, like in this overwhelmed position. Okay, so I just started like reflecting on it. And what came to me was when I get to a place where I've never been before, which is for me, hiring people to help me finish the course, okay, and do some of the tech stuff. So when I get to a place of the unknown like that, like having to hire people, I go into fight, flight, or freeze mode almost every single time. And I recognized that I looked back, 10 years and what like stops me at these certain crossroads. And this is definitely one of them, is letting go of control, hiring people to help me, bringing in a team of people to help me complete it and get it done. Because it's really amazing. But if it doesn't get out there, if it doesn't get into for people to see it, what is it? It doesn't mean anything, right? So, so I get into this fear of the unknown, and right then I will create overwhelm for myself. This is a self-protection thing. And how I do that is, because fear of lack, this one gets me. I'm telling you, this fear of lack is pretty crazy. So fear of safety and fear of lack. How it gets me is I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, gosh, maybe it's going to be too expensive for me to hire people. If I want to do, scale it and do ads and stuff like that, then, it might be too expensive. So maybe I should just do it on my own. I can figure it out. And I'm not kidding you when I say that, like, instead of like almost right when I make the decision to like get in my head and I start getting like where I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just do it on my own. Right when that happens, I'm not kidding you. In my newsfeed, it's like stuff about how to create your own Facebook ads and easy ways to create videos and basically all of these programs that will that I would be able to do these things on my own instead of hiring people. And I'm telling you, it was like, I've never looked into it on Facebook, anything like that. And I was going to hire I am going to hire a virtual assistant to help me with some of the emails, but also an agency to help me with some of the ads. So I'm literally not kidding you. Like, I was getting like Facebook ads on how to create your own ads and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, well, see, I could do it, because it'll be cheaper and it won't be a problem. And, I could save some money. And see, that's where I go. And this is what looking at your shadow self is all about. Okay. And it's going to be different for everyone, to where like getting outside of your comfort zone your shadow self or your subconscious mind comes into play and starts self-protecting you. And so that's where you're going to feel the most like resistance. It's because you're like you want to move forward, but your subconscious mind is literally holding you back and will manifest out and create storms so that you can stay protected, or what is the illusion of being self-protected. Because there really is nothing that, like, there's no real danger there. But because it is this fake perceived danger, you get these real emotional and manifesting in the physical responses to show yourself that you're like correct. You know what I mean? So your subconscious mind literally creates this stuff to prove to yourself that you're right. This is not safe. You need to do it yourself. Because, what if you lose too much money? See, that's a fear of lack, and that will hold you back every single time. So, and fear of safety and fear of the unknown. So this is what my shadow self does, or my subconscious mind, and it was pretty clear to me. So I will create overwhelm to protect myself, and then I will go into fight, flight, or freeze. So I will shut down. I will get physically sick. I will have to lay down and for the whole day and not complete my action steps. So it'll hold me back. I will fight, like that's where the storms come. I get frustrated. I'll start yelling at people and blaming other people, oh, if I want to get this done, you're not helping me. And, so it's their fault. Right? Because it can't be you that's hurting you. It has to be somebody else. Oh, man. So then I get into overwhelm and I just start shutting down. I'll run, I will fight, and I will freeze up. That was my typical response. So, like right now it's 11:30 at night doing this video. I've slept most of the day. I've had a migraine. And this is what I'm saying is the normal response, but I am super proud of myself because I stopped myself. I recognized that something was off, and I decided to take responsibility, which means looking inside at what's really going on. And I looked back over time too. So I get into overwhelm, and then I create an emotional storm for those around me, and blame others that they're not helping me, or they're stressing me out, or, it's their fault. And then I get mad, and I feel that to control the situation, I have to do it on my own, so it's like that makes me feel safe again. And then I have to do everything on my own. So then it's like my subconscious mind showing myself, see, you can't trust anybody. You can't trust anybody else, like perfectionism. It's not good enough. You have to do it on your own. And then it's like you just quit, you just like, I'll just give up at that point, because it's like, it's too overwhelming, because how am I supposed to do all of that myself, So, that is the illusion, that I have to do it on my own to make, to have it be an excellence or have it be right. So that's where I get to that point. And then, I basically will blame other people around me, feel like I can't trust anyone, and, would rather do it on my own. But then because of that, I just decide maybe I can't do this, maybe this isn't for me. So, and all of that is basically so that I don't have to take responsibility for my own actions, that's all that is, to basically blame other people, make it the outside world's fault. It can't be me inside, because then it really hurts when you realize that your subconscious mind is trying to protect you from you. So it's like you want to do these things, but your subconscious mind is saying, no, that's not safe. And how could it be you that's hurting you? But when you come to that realization that it is actually you that hurts you to protect you, it's like, does that even make any sense? But it is the truth. And it does sting a little bit, but you know what? You just have to forgive yourself, because you just have to be kind to yourself. That's the bottom line. You have to be kind to yourself and tell yourself that you're safe. Tell yourself that you're abundant. Tell yourself that everything, you're always protected, because that's the truth. That you're wealthy. So like, to combat these fears that you have, it's like, don't focus on the fears, but you recognize it. You know, you have to like come out of this place and acknowledge the fears so that you can be aware. It's becoming aware of these things, then being kind to yourself, and then just recognizing if you start to kind of go into that place, like pulling yourself back out quickly and saying those affirmations that actually help your subconscious mind to relax. And that's really it. But it's really hard to look at yourself. It's so much easier to blame everyone else around you. That is shadow work. That is the inner work that it takes to be something different than you are, to change, to get outside of your normal comfort zone. And it's uncomfortable, because it's having to look at yourself and having to take responsibility for your actions. And it's hard. It is really hard, but I have done this so much, and the benefits far outweigh the fear. Like, getting to the other side of the illusion is where you can, I'm so proud of myself for even doing this video right now. This is like, I can't tell you how many times I would start doing something like these video series and freeze up because of overwhelm, because I would do just this, but I wasn't at the point where I could recognize it yet. And so and what's so cool is, like, when you start doing this inner work, God, your higher self, will absolutely help you through it. And like, it's like, they know that you need to take baby steps. So they are so gentle and kind with you. And that's how they're like showing you how to be towards yourself. Like, don't beat yourself up. Forgive yourself and be kind to yourself. And then you can rise above that place of being so stuck and get outside your comfort zone and really thrive there. So, yeah. So the way that I have to do this to get out of my own way, you know, when people say that, like, oh, just get out of your own way. But you're like, how in the world do I do that? Well, it's recognizing how you get in your own way. How could you get out of your own way if you can't recognize how you're in your own way? And that's what this is. And that's doing shadow work. That's looking at your shadow self, or your subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. We have all of these different terms, and really it means the same thing. For so much too, you know, it's like, it's crazy. But to get out of my own way, I need to hire others to help me and stay out of overwhelm, because that's where I go into stress, and that's when my vibration starts lowering. I get angry, I start lashing out. I mean, that's what we all do when we get down to a place. And so the most important thing is especially if you're trying to create something new in your life, is to stay in a place of joy, in a joyful state, because that's where the law of attraction can do its natural job. But, and that's what I was saying, like, you can't do anything to make the law of attraction work. It will just automatically work. But you need to recognize these things that are blocking it. And shadow self is one of those things, subconscious mind, that will absolutely shut it down, because it is trying to protect you and wants to keep you in this, this false protection, right? Because there's really no danger. I mean, for me to go hire people, there is no danger. There's not. That's only going to progress and move me forward quicker and help me. But it's that fear of, will I be able to have enough money? What if they don't do a good enough job? What if it doesn't produce? It's like, oh my gosh. So that was the day today, you guys. And, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want to create freedom in your life? Well, I want it really bad. And, that's the thing. It's because I know that that's where I'm supposed to reside, is because I can feel the pull. It's not like, oh, I'm just doing this because, you're going to feel a pull and you're going to know. And that's what you get in this place that hurts. It's like, well, you either have to look at your inner self and clear that shadow work, or you're going to stay stuck there. And that is where suffering can occur, because that like your joy is on the other side of it, but you're like sitting in fear. It's like, that's where suffering happens. And it's just recognizing that and knowing that the fear is an illusion. It is not real. You don't have a tiger coming after you. You're sitting in your room, having a migraine that you have created because you don't want to move forward because you're in fear of the unknown. It's like, what? But that's how the subconscious mind works. And just knowing that and becoming aware of it, and then you can kind of slowly rise above these things. And trust me, I mean, this has taken me, I can't tell you. That's why you can't, fear of failure, you have to, you have to, and it's not failure. Everything is just growth and learning. It's learning, moving forward and feeling like you failed will have you go run and hide. But when you can look at it as, okay, that didn't work out so good. What do I need to learn from that? And then you can learn that lesson, and then you can move forward. It's like taking a baby step, but you have to fall down to get back up. It's just like a baby walking, crawling and then starting to walk. They're gonna fall. That's how they learn. It's so funny to me when with my first son, I seriously tried to oh my gosh, don't fall. When he was starting to walk, I was so overly protective. I was like, oh my God, what if he hits his head? What if he this? What if he that? But it's like, dude, seriously, chill out. They have to fall to learn. That's why they got all of that little fat around them. It's like their body's literally protecting them. But as a parent, you're like, you don't want them to fall, so you try and do everything to protect them. And then it just happens worse usually because you're trying to control it. So it's but that's how they learn quicker. Like my second son, I didn't do that. And it was he just did his thing. He just laughed when he fell and got up, and it was funny and, all that. But anyway, the point is you have to fall down to get back up, to learn how to walk. It is the same thing, because this is new. You are taking baby steps and you're learning how to walk. But don't um, I just want to say, like, man, I have sat and stopped. I never gave up. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm still going today. Like, I never gave up, but I felt like I did give up sometimes, and that's where you got to be gentle with yourself, because those are just maybe breaks that you need. Your mind needs a few like breaks, but stand up again. Don't give up on your dreams. Like, don't give up on your dreams. Don't settle for something where you're not happy. No. Fall down, take a break, get back up, get on the horse, and go again. All right, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.